Hey, bye week, important for us. One, to get healthy, and two, to continue to get better. I got a lot of guys inside of a program, in particular younger guys, that got to continue to develop and get better. So good teams get better throughout the season. Had a good day of work on the grass today with the guys, and we'll have another one tomorrow. So um, end of the week, a bunch of coaches will be all over the country. I think we're hitting close to 12 states here as we get out on Thursday and Friday. So that'll be the back end of the week for the staff, and that's obviously the lifeblood of this program. So huge part of the week on the back end of it as well for our staff. I'll open it up.
Start with there. I know getting healthy is first and foremost for him, but Dante Thornton, how much are you relying on him to try to pick up some of the slack left behind?
Yeah, Dante, but all the guys that you've seen and some that you maybe haven't, got to continue to grow and be ready to play here on the back half of the season. Obviously, Bru's injury, devastating for him, and he's doing well, but at the same time, in this game, the next guy's got to be ready to step up. Dante wasn't available last week. Anticipate him being full steam when we get to A&M, and the young guys that played or have played got to continue to grow and play at a really high level, like a lot of what they did the other night when they got their opportunity. Really, the last couple of weeks they've played pretty good football.
Great, Coach, I know a number that you guys have raised with the sacks so far this season. What's gone into that unit?
Yeah, continued depth, ability to play more guys, play harder for 60 minutes. Their development and understanding of what they're doing, that can be our scheme, but also their fundamentals. And guys are playing violent, they're disruptive, they're jumping the football, they're winning one-on-one battles, and we're going to continue to need that. You guys know all offseason, point of emphasis for us was the ability to apply pressure to the quarterback, not just with pressure, and our guys have done a good job of that so far this year.
First off, on the O line, Carrick and Crawford, what's their stat?
Yeah, I believe they'll be available as we get to next week.
We'll talk to Cooper in a little bit. We were kind of waiting for him to play, and obviously he played the other night. How sure were you during that game week that he would play compared to the previous 2 weeks when he was still kind of coming along?
Yeah, pretty anticipated him being in position to play last Saturday. Um, you know, for Coop, he's tough mentally, physically. He's a great leader inside of our program. Unfortunate that the injury happened early, but he's been fighting his butt off to get back, and really pretty pleased with how he played. I think that was a big part of the football game.
Yeah. Josh Heupel, do you think you all will keep him there in the slot, or with Bru's injury, do you think it's not working out?
I don't know. I don't know how the rotation will, exactly play out as we get to A&M. But we got the ability and flexibility to move guys into different spots. All of those guys really have trained at multiple spots.
How important is it to keep Bru involved with the team? I know he's such a leader for this team, not only for his teammates, but for him and his mental health, especially in the early days of his recovery.
Yeah, I think for us and for him, that will be important as his recovery takes place and he's able to get back into the building and be around it. It's extremely important for our football team, the wide receiver room. He's developed into an unbelievable leader inside of our program. And, for him too, I just think it's important to be around, the guys that care about you, still be a part of it, and he will be a huge part of it when he gets back.
Frank and Brandon. Coach, have you, as a team, gotten a chance to pay Bru a visit?
I've been over there. A bunch of our teammates and staff have been over to see him, and like I said, everybody can understand all the time, effort that goes into getting yourself ready to play your best football during the course of the season. And nobody prepared harder than he has. He invested the right way, and when you invest, and you no longer have that opportunity, you have an injury like he had. Um, it's hard. It's devastating, and you feel like it's an opportunity that no longer exists. When I'm just talking about this season, and so the early days of that are hard. I think it's the hardest part of being an athlete. You're constantly pushing towards something, and all of a sudden you have an injury, and you're however long it is, you're kind of in no man's land, and as he starts his recovery process, I think that's the next best thing because you're working towards something. So excited for him as he goes through that part of it.
Josh, staying with the wide receiver, how much of this is a plug and play? Somebody steps up to take that spot. How much do you guys look this week at doing some things differently because you don't have it in terms of the passing game?
It is plug and play. You can't have a total overhaul to what you're doing. Believe in the guys that have gotten an opportunity to play. They got to continue to grow. They got to step up and be ready for that role. Romel Keaton did that a year ago when Sed went down. So that in this game, it's inevitably going to happen. That's why, if you're not a starter, not playing a bunch of football, it's not about where you're at. It's preparing yourself for the moment when you get the opportunity. And our guys have done that, but they got to also continue to grow.
Eric can be.
Look at Ollie, his guard, had to go over to play center, then had to go right back to guard. A couple days after you assess his play, and you feel like Ollie's going to have a role at guard with a healthy Cooper.
Yeah, we'll have some other guys that will fill in and play. That happened late in the week. Really pretty pleased with how he played, how we played up front. Thought we communicated. We're really good in our double teams. So there were a bunch of positives from the football game with all the moving pieces that we had up front. And as we continue to go, we're gonna need all those guys, and some that have played a substantial amount of plays, and some that maybe haven't yet either. All those guys will be needed before it's done.
Josh, four of your opponents are playing each other this week in A&M and Bama and Georgia and Kentucky. Do you kind of go out of your way on bye weeks to watch those games, or do you like to wait for the all 22 film to come out and watch that tape?
I'm going to get a chance to go watch my son play football Saturday morning, and my daughter and I at some point will sit down and watch a game or two in the evening. So we'll watch a little bit of football. I'm sure I'll be flipping around between multiple games at the time.
It looks like Aaron Carter and Jeremiah Taylor made some plays for you guys the other night. How important is this week to build?
Yeah, a bunch of young guys are playing on the second level, continuing to grow, compete. Played at a really high level the other night. A couple of them got more snaps than they had. That room, I was just talking about the offensive line, like that room, we're going to need all those guys too. But all in all, pretty pleased with the growth and development of that room. Coach BJ and the staff have done a great job there.
For those young guys, how much is this about fundamentals? Is it about catching their breath a little bit this week? I mean, how important of a week is it for not just those linebackers, but young guys that it's not about a game plan right now? It's not about, everything for a Saturday, that it's a little bit more fundamental.
Yeah, for everybody in the building, Sunday wasn't a normal Sunday, so you get a chance to catch your breath on the front end of it. Our players are going to catch their breath on the back end too, longer than the coaches will. But some of the coaches will have a Saturday where they're able to be at home. Sunday, we get back to work. For everybody in the building, it is about continued growth and development fundamentally, but that's true every single week. Our main practices Tuesday, Wednesday. There's a bunch of good on good work because you're trying to stress those things. There's a bunch of individual time, so you got to constantly grow in those things and continue to sharpen them throughout the course of the season or on the back half of the season. You're not anywhere near the type of football player and football team that you need to be. There's a little bit of scheme this week, but most of it's on fundamentals.
More frank and Rick. In what ways does Alfie Cooper impact this offense the most?
Smart, tough, competitive, ability to communicate, get all five guys on the same page within our tempo. That's extremely important. It's important in every offense, but when you're playing with tempo, recognition of what's going on up front. There's a lot of moving pieces before the snap, and does a great job of that. And then he's tough and physical, man, and played a lot of football. So, your inside combinations, all that stuff, your pass protection, it's all elevated with this play.
On the same lines, Josh, is the success of the run game, is it ahead of where you thought it might be at this point?
And it's been super efficient, been explosive at times. There's still things that we can be a whole lot better at. So, as a coach, you expect perfection. This also is never a game of perfection, and love a lot of what we've done. We got to continue to grow and elevate.
Thank you, Coach. What players